Good day, I'm Ikslorin and I'm back after 1 week of sickness. I'm sorry, but I am back at least. And with that deck that I have been talking about the last 2 weeks, or well, that would then be 3 weeks because of the 1 week of sickness. But let's not get into that. I was talking about this mill warrior thing. And I got the idea because, well, you have the druid fatigue deck that is working surprisingly well. Then you have that mage fatigue deck that I'm just too stupid to actually understand and play. I mean, I understand it when looking at the deck, but when I play it, I suck for some reason. So, but still, then I thought, what about using both philosophies, even though they are pretty much the same, but they still have a little bit of a different twist to fatigue. But what about using both of them, or mainly the mage one, on a warrior? And why a warrior? Of course, because of the Iron Juggernaut. This is just too fancy of a card to really not try out. So, because of that, we are trying to go for a fatigue warrior. And, well, I started off really just taking a net deck, a warrior control deck, really, and just remove all the 6,000 legendaries that they have in there. And then so that I just have the bare essentials of the control stuff. And after that, then I add in all what I thought would be necessary for fatigue, and then I had 1 or 2 slots left for just more control. So with this, let's just look at what I actually ended up with. We have executes and shield slams, obviously for hard removal. Shield Slam has lost a lot of its synergy because I had to remove the shield block. Yeah, that's what it is, because it has draw a card on it. And you cannot really afford just drawing 2 cards when the only cards that you can guarantee that he will draw are 4, with 2 of the Dancing Swords and 2 of the Death Lord. And you want him to get as far ahead as humanly possible with this, or closer to fatigue as you, so that you can actually still draw cards while he's slowly dying. So because of that, I had to remove it. When you are going for the druid one, because of naturalize, you can still put in something like a shield block, but sadly not with something like this. This is where I was talking about the mage philosophy versus the druid philosophy. Mainly just because of these 2 cards that the druid has, that makes it possible for you to actually draw a card yourself without any real punishment. But let's not get into that. What else do we have? Fiery Warx, of course. Acidic Swarm Boost I added because you're always going to end up running into some scary weapon when you have to play against his whole deck, all 30 cards. Then we have the Armor Smith. Also, this has lost a lot of synergy, mainly because we have removed the Cruel Taskmaster. Whirlwind is also not here anymore. And I think 1 or 2 other stuff has also been removed. Mainly just because I don't have, these cards are not really that good with the rest of the deck. And only the Armorsmith, because I also had to remove the Acolyte of Pain, obviously. So, because of that, I had to remove all of the synergy cards. So the Armorsmith is weaker, but I still feel like it is worth it, because this armor is still very essential healing. And sometimes it is even still very, very good. It doesn't just die immediately, I hope. Cruel Taskmaster is still in here, I mean, mainly just because of the Armorsmith, the Execute, and the Big Game Hunter. But I feel like that is probably the one card that I would remove if I should anything. And what I would add then is probably a second Brawl, just because that you have, as I said, you need to, when you are going for a fatigue, you really have to deal with all of his deck before you even have drawn your own. So you cannot go for a 1-to-1. You have to be able to kill a lot of his guys with 1 single card, and that is what the Brawl is. So I would have to craft a second Brawl, but that is probably the one change that I would do, at least right now. Youthful Brewmaster is obviously in here. Cold Light Oracle is the only card draw for yourself. Because, well, yeah, the symmetrical card draw is the only thing that you can do with a fatigue deck, obviously. Dancing Swords and Death Lords are obviously in here. Great value, and on top of that, they also draw cards. So they are 2 great things in one. Death Spite, obviously in here too. Healing with Antique. And also, where is it? Healing with Shield Maiden. I mean, armor is healing, and it also synergizes with Shield Slam. So even though we don't have Shield Block, we have a Shield Maiden still. Even though shield maiden is also very much used in a normal control warrior, at least some of them. Sludge Belcher, great value again. Iron Juggernaut is the whole reason why we did that. And Alexstrasza, actually a little bit irritating with Juggernaut because you have to use Alexstrasza before he hits sometimes, but most of the time you will use probably Alexstrasza on yourself anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I think. But yeah, there's one change that I'm actually thinking about doing to this deck. And even though this is actually the first draft that I think I showed you like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I actually couldn't see what I would want to change. This, even though I am losing all the time, mainly just because I'm around 19 where all the tryhards are. At least that's what it seems to me. Everyone around 20 or 19 are net decking the hell out of this game. Then it seems to work sometimes. I am unlucky and doing some really stupid misplays, like using my weapon first, then and with that removing all my armor, and then use shield slam after that. I have actually done that about 2 or 3 hours ago. Man, that was really, really well, embarrassing. But it seems to work really well. It also, the good thing is, it seems to play very much like a normal control warrior, because everything that is actually the fatigue cards are just high value stuff most of the time. And then they draw him some cards. So I actually, it doesn't feel weird to me. I just have to stop being stupid. Okay, starts with Clockwork Gnome. Sadly, I didn't get the Fiery War Axe. No, I did not. Well, it's still fine because this aggro paladin that I would at least say that he is, he will be stopped by 2 Deathlords very easily. Except if he buffs it, but then at that point we will have so much stuff out that it won't matter anyway. Yeah, it's fine. Except if he's going for the Battle Mustard thingy. Okay, we have a lot of cool pieces in here already. The Sludge Belcher is great. All of these 2 are probably the things that I will play next turn. Deathlord at least, and then probably the Sludge Belcher. This one will be very essential whenever we get the Juggernaut or the Cold Light. Oh, that is irritating. But then he has already used 1 equality on the other hand. And that old there, he will regret that decision. Because there's a lot of stuff in here that he actually needs to go for. That Mecha Warper could be a problem. I should maybe go for actually the Fiery War Axe, kill it, and then wait for the Deathlord until next turn. Or just go for the Sludge Belcher then. The Mech Warper, I think, I don't want him to snowball. Especially since he's a warrior. Oh, not a warrior, what the hell. I'm a warrior. Since he's aggro, we very much have to keep him not from snowballing, because this deck still seems to be having a little bit of problem with that. Okay, should this be the high value turn? I think it should. When doing it like this, then that would kill everything. We may go for an equality, I don't think so. We can even heal our Deathlord with a Youthful Brewmaster if it should be. But I mean, you probably can kill it, he only needs 2 damage here. I'm pretty sure. Okay, he goes for everything. So, does he have a Hammer of Wrath? That is the question here. Yes, he does. Cool. So, what does he get from that? I mean, probably something that is 1 or 2 mana. A Neutron. Oh, I'm fine with that. Something like an Armorsmith would be great. Well, that is not that, but that is fine. We're still not playing completely on curve. That is a bit of a little bit irritating. But I still feel very comfortable here. Oh, there's the other owl. That is irritating. But really nothing on this board is actually frightening as such. Well, we could either go for a Sludge Belcher, pop the shield, then Brewmaster this other Belcher. And then next turn we can actually get 2 taunts up. And and using this Brewmaster to go around the silence. On the other hand, then we will have removed the Brewmaster from all this other stuff we need. And I feel like I would rather use the Brewmaster for the Juggernaut or the Cold Light. So we should probably not do that. So go for this and just armor. Yeah, I think that is probably the better decision here. That is probably the better choice. Even though you don't get more taunts, you have the Brewmaster for better value later. Cool. Well, yeah. That is still high value as such, so I can't see any problem here. Man, my throat still hurts a little bit. As it seems, this cold has not yet been able to just go away completely, at least. But it's still something. That cold was actually really irritating because one day there was nothing, and the next one I couldn't nearly breathe. It was really weird. Just one day from nothing to full on. There was no build up or anything. It was just like that friend that doesn't even call you before he visits you, just rings the doorbell and then barges in when you open the door. Not even saying hello or anything, just barges in and then and then just takes a beer and sits on the sofa saying yo. It's a really rude, really rude cold I had. I guess that analogy works somewhat. That was really a stupid analogy. Oh god. Oh well. Armor, heal. This is going really well. Yeah, I like it. We have a pretty decent board. He can remove it, but it seems fine. We have Alexstrasza for everything. Yeah, we could even actually Alexstrasza his face and then just go for face. Even though that is probably not the good thing here. Huh. Do we have something? Oh. Well, we cannot kill or remove his weapon then. Because I sadly do not have the use. That's what it's called. That's irritating. Well, that's sad. But, well, we got it killed at least. So we only have to worry about the weapon. And we have a lot of healing in this deck, so it doesn't matter really. And a little bit of healing. And there you go. He has to deal with the board anyway. He cannot just let it just stay. This is 8 damage a turn. And he can only deal 15, so he has to remove it. So it's fine. How far is he anyway? 11 to 17. This looks good. We probably have to, yeah, kill that one. But yeah, now he sadly seems to be actually getting the upper hand of the board here. Another shield slam wouldn't be the worst. We could Alexstrasza his face and just get some threat out on the board, but he can kill it with these two. So maybe I should just armor up and then pass. I could also... What other threat do you have as a paladin? That's the other new legendary, right? Yeah, that's that one. Some people use it. I'm pretty sure. And since I have killed a lot of stuff, that could actually be worth it. I think there's probably something that is worse than these. So just armor up and do nothing. I can't just wait for a brawl and then just let him fill the board up, so... Since he's aggro, he's probably just going to hit me with everything he has. He should at least. Cool. Not really something that I'm that worried about, to be honest. I have been in a very comfortable spot throughout the whole start of the game. I should probably be able to deal with this. I mean, he is gaining momentum in some way, but... I mean, with some kind of a brawl later, I don't think now. That would probably be a stupid idea. But later, that would be probably rather good. He has just used the heal, so Alexstrasza would probably not be the worst here. Though he will still trade these two in. But that will just make the brawl better. Oh, that's another heal.
Something needs tinkering?
And another tinker time. Oh, trading that way. That is interesting. Oh yeah, okay, freeing up space probably for some other big stuff. Brewmaster. I like that card. So we're down to 17. He can deal how much? A lot, at least. 8, 11, and 16. Sorry. 16. So we are actually close to dead. So we probably have to hope that, or have him trade this way. Problem just is he will trade this way, sadly. Oh, we can shield slam it. Fair enough. That is a target worth shield slamming, I'd say. Especially if we can get him to trade favorably. And it's still a 1 card for 1 card. That is still 1 card for 1 card. 2, plus he draws a card again. So that's good. The one problem I seem to have with this is, since he has so much more card draw, you end up having to deal with so much more stuff that you cannot really handle it. We still have the ball in our hand, you just have to wait for the proper moment to use it. I'm still not really liking using it now, though he has lethal, doesn't he? He has lethal +1. So this should not be lethal. We can use the Brewmaster this 5/5 too. That would mean then 5 or 7 next turn again, plus a Brewmaster, and we would be alive. Yes, let's do that. I'm not dead, which is the one thing that I'm happy about. I'm just waiting for him to actually play a board that is worth brawling, because I only have 1 brawl, so I want to make it count. You should probably wait with the brawl, or at least the second brawl, until he has pretty much drawn all of his cards and played most of them too. Oh, cool. Also, how many heals do we still have? This is the second shield maiden, if I'm right. Then we also still have 1 antique heal, but we have already used Ikslorin for his face. And he has a lot of healing. And if I have counted correctly, he still has 1 of those heals. He has 8, 10. So one of these, any of these would be good. Doesn't really matter. Either of these are fine. We could have brawled and then healed, hoping that he would. There's a 50-50 that he gets a 1-1 out of him, meaning that we would have better trade here, but I don't think so. We still also have those the axe with the death thing on, so I don't feel like we really need. Well, that's an armor smith. That's not really what I'm looking for. I am actually thinking about executing that damn thing, just to remove all of that damage. Wait, what? How is that 10 mana? 6, oh, 10. Yeah, okay. Well, we cannot execute this turn, but it would probably have been a good thing, even though it is rather weak target to do it with. Oh. That's sad. But then we got the reversing switch out of him. And we still have the Juggernaut. And we still also have a few other rather bad targets. Or some dangerous stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm not really that good at commentating just with 1 week of a break. Well, we can probably afford going for 1 more turn. I don't want to play the Big Game Hunter because I don't know if he has something that is worth Big Game Huntering. Even though Big Game Hunter would be at least killing his 2/1s, which is not something I would want to do. He has the Blessing of Kings, cool. So we probably have to, even on that thing, so it will now be a 50-50 or if we get something good or bad out of it. Armorsmith. Well, I probably have to brawl now, even if this is probably a really bad board for it. Please a 1/1. That looks not like one. That is really bad. Couldn't you at least have been something like a 7? If we actually get that thing that buffs for 2, we can actually Big Game Hunter it, so that's fine. There we go. He will probably go for face though. And then he can actually kill us, because he just needs what? On top of that, he needs 6 more damage. We have an execute for it too. So luckily we can somewhat survive, but I am thinking that we are dead. Yeah, that's irritating. Ah, well. Yeah, we should have seen that coming. We haven't seen any consecration throughout this whole game. So it makes sense. And that armor won't save us. Sadly, it won't. And I'm nearly down to 20 with experimenting with this deck. That is a bit sad, but probably what you expected. I mean, sometimes it works flawlessly, and sometimes it just ends up looking like a complete mess. Though I feel like I didn't play it correctly, and using that Ikslorin on his face was probably something that I shouldn't have done. Just because I should probably have expected, especially since that I said he's some kind of aggro mid-ranger thing. I would probably change it to something mid-rangey. Then I should probably have expected to be that I would need to use Ikslorin on me. So that is probably one misplay I did. Something else could probably I could probably also just say the draw wasn't the best. That was probably something that would have been in the deck that could have answered. But on the other hand, we started with 2 Death Lords and a Dancing Sword, so we couldn't have a better opening hand against something like an aggro deck. So it is. We have both sides of the coin here, really. We have some good and some bad stuff in this game. It wasn't the worst. We got him nearly to fatigue, which is how most games have been playing for me. The ones that I have won and the ones that I haven't won. I actually haven't won yet one with these, actually with fatigue. That's a bit irritating. But well, I will try again, of course. Until then, thank you for watching. See ya!